This newsreel is being brought to you by Northcrest Medical Center. Well, things didn't start out too terrible, but then the clock struck 12, and it progressively, by the hour, got windier and windier and windier. By the time 3:30 rolled around, we had trees down all over the county and a lot of reports coming in of structural damage to buildings. We were beginning to push our emergency response capabilities to their limit. Around 4 a.m., we had a very large tree fall on a trailer that had a woman pinned inside. The emergency crews were having trouble getting to her because there were so many trees down blocking the roads. Citizens were pulling out their own chainsaws and carving a path for them, and they finally did get to her. We're going to talk to her fiancé in a minute. This is the Douglas BP on Tom Austin Highway at Mount Zion. Obviously, the structure sustained pretty heavy damage. They spent most of the day pulling out inventory and getting it in refrigerators to keep it from spoiling. It's difficult to guess how long it's going to be before they can open up again, but it'll be at least a few weeks. This has been a pretty popular place to have lunch for a while now, so it's going to be greatly missed. The owner was inside at the time the roof came flying off, but apparently he was in the back and so therefore sustained no injuries. This is on Old US 431 right by Betts Road, right around the corner from the BP. Obviously, they sustained some damage. Then I started wondering about the water tower, and the engineers happened to be there looking things over, so we were able to ask them if the structure sustained any damage. They said no, it's designed to take 200-mile-an-hour winds, so the water tower is in good shape. All the debris you see at the base is actually from a business next door. Simply Mulch and More lost one of their outbuildings, and it was strewn all over the place. Smoky Barn News. That was a rare look inside the water tower. The engineers let me take a look. Thanks, guys. I really enjoyed that. As we move around the county, you'll see that we lost a lot of trees. To me, it looked like we lost about 500, and they did a lot of damage. Believe it or not, there is a home under there. This is the home that collapsed and trapped Rebecca Roberts. Emergency crews had a terrible time getting to her because of all the other felled trees, but they did finally get her out. We're going to talk to her fiancé, Michael McGregor.
Was in the house, and it's about 4 o'clock in the morning. We had both woke up, heard the loud winds, and she had got up and was concerned because the power was out, so we weren't going to be able to watch the weather and keep updated with it. So at that time she had returned to the bedroom, and then she returned back to the living room area to get a candle for us to have some light. And whenever she got to the end of the hallway, that's whenever I guess she heard the tree pop. She tried to turn around, come back into the bedroom, but the tree took her down. That's when she hit the floor, and she was pinned underneath there for approximately probably about 45 minutes to an hour before the medics came. There was 2 kids in here. The ceiling had already come down on my little girl. Not bad enough to pin her in. I was able to get her out. And then my little boy, he was laying in his baby bed, and there was nothing at all around him whatsoever, so he was perfectly fine. I got them gathered up, took them in there, threw them underneath my mattress, and told them to hang out there. My little girl's 5 and my little boy's 7 months. The little girl was crying a little bit at first, but then I explained to her what was going on, and she kind of calmed down a little bit, and she was understanding, so she's a pretty sharp little girl.
Just to give you an idea how scary this must have been, here's a look from inside.
Because it's super tight in there, but her legs were pinned. Her legs were probably actually pinned over here underneath the arm of the couch, because that's the only thing that's low enough to look like it would be able to pin it there.
That's a couch there, I see it now.
Yes, that's the arm of the couch there. So I think that's probably what got her legs whenever that come down, maybe.
Michael told me they just moved in 2 weeks ago. He said his budget for a new place would be $550 to $600 a month. If you've got a place, put a link to it below.
I'd like to find something in our budget pretty soon, because we don't really have nowhere to go, really. So we're kind of just, floating on the wing right now.
All right.
So anything that anybody could do could help us out would be very much appreciated at this point.
Michael's fiancée, Rebecca, suffered 2 broken legs and a punctured lung in the ordeal. If you'd like to reach out to Michael, ping Smokey, and we'll set you up with some contact information. Now, this is Tom Ragsdale's place over on Gum Station Road. He fared a little better than Michael. At least his home is somewhat recognizable, although it does appear as though someone tossed a tree at his home like it was a dart. Looking at this kind of damage, it's easy to see why this storm will probably be classified as one of the bigger storms to hit Robertson County.
Well, we were sitting there, whatever time it was this morning. The wind just really picked up, got to roar, and we ran to the bathroom. All got in the tub in the bathroom. Felt the house shake, which was probably the tree falling on the house, and it didn't last about 10 seconds. And then we got up, and because it was dark, and tried to figure out just what the damage was.
You think it was a tornado?
Yes, definitely a tornado.
This is Sandra Socora's place over on Bethlehem Road. She lost her roof.
And I heard this like a freight train coming, and all of a sudden the house shook, and then the windows, and I just started screaming for my sons to come. I said, "Oh my God, come help me!" I was scared, really. I never been in anything like this before, so.
Well, you're alive.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank God for that.
You win.
Yes. Thank God for that.
I thought this was interesting. This house was actually saved by a tree, although I couldn't help but think that someone needs to cut that thing out of there before that tree collapses. This is Doug Burnett's place. He didn't have any trees near enough to do any damage, but the wind grabbed a hold of his roof anyways and just tore a chunk of it off.
So we had the whole family in there. We didn't have time to take cover. Had an alert on my BlackBerry about 2 to 3 minutes before it happened.
What do you think it was?
Tornado, for sure. I mean, I've got insulation up under my truck that blew in backwards. I've had the construction folks out here already this morning. If they are all saying if this was straight line winds, it would not have created this kind of damage. So, unfortunate, but God blessed us. God continues to bless us. I'm good.
You think it came from this way up there?
I think it comes this way.
And then it went where?
Tony, what way it go? Yeah.
As you can see, most people feel that this was a tornado. It'll be interesting to see if we have any tornado experts look at some of this footage and try to determine exactly what happened. I guess it'll be a cross between straight line winds and a tornado. Some of the streets had so much damage, like this one, it looked like an elaborate movie set. I kept waiting for somebody to jump out of the bushes and go, "Cut!" But it was real. And this is going to be a storm I think that Robertson County talks about for quite a few years to come. You know, one of the things that's easy to do living in our modern world is take it all for granted. Things like clear streets and electricity and computers and heat. But when you lose it all one day, it's actually kind of scary. That's why, as a county, I think we should be very proud of the first responders that we have. And I'm not just talking about fire and medical. I'm talking about gas and power company and even the cable companies. They were all of them racing around, doing everything in their power to restore our lives to the way it was before we were whacked by this big storm.
Just straight line winds come through and took her out, that's what it looks like. The old boy was in the trailer here and they rode it out in the trailer.
What did it sound like?
It was pretty loud.
Out on Highway 76 in White House, I ran across this little guy. It was just after some of the big winds had come through. And like the rest of us, he was a little shaken up by the storm. All I knew is I wasn't going to leave a beautiful owl sitting in the middle of the road. Luckily, I was able to coax him to a more suitable location for his own safety. At any rate, no matter where you were in the county, we hope you fared well in the storm. This has been Jim Ball reporting for Smoky Barn News. Go, go, go.
When you're facing a medical emergency, time is critical. Every minute matters. And today, time is on your side because Northcrest Medical Center is ready 24/7. We have the experience and expertise to act decisively and the leading-edge technology crucial for life-saving surgery, letting you get back to the life you love. Northcrest Medical Center, bringing exceptional care to our community.